Hello, welcome back to a new week of online learning. I just want to talk about a couple things before we get started. I think that there is a miscommunication. You do not have to print anything out to do your assignments. I have created these so that you don't have to print anything out. I myself don't even have a printer, so of course I would never expect you all to have a printer. Also, when you turn in your assignments, please make sure that you are putting your name at the top. And also make sure you do not share your assignments with anyone else. It's very easy for us teachers to figure out what assignments are being used multiple times. So moving forward with that. So today we have just a lesson of notes, and tomorrow you will have an assignment. And I believe we only have a couple assignments this week, so it is starting to slow down for y'all. If we could start with the first page of notes. So right here, make sure you copy this in your notes. Press pause, press play when you're ready to fill it in. Today we're gonna be able to write a formula for an arithmetic sequence. And this formula is to find out like a term in that sequence that is way beyond what was given. So let's say like you were given a sequence of 5 numbers and I want you to find like the 50th term. I would never expect you to add 50 separate times. So this formula helps you do that much quicker. So here's the formula. A sub n is equal to d parentheses n minus 1 plus a sub 1. So what I want you to notice is that I have color-coded the 2 pieces that will be replaced by numbers. Everything else will stay the same. So the a sub 1 is always the first term, you already know that, and you also already know that d is the common difference. So we're gonna go right into an example, and every example you do today, I want you to put it in your notes so that you can use it for tomorrow's assignment. There are 4 examples today. So our first example says, write a rule for each sequence, then find the indicated term. So here's the sequence they gave us, okay? So we've got -5, -1, 3, 7. First, we got to figure out what that pattern is, and then it's asking us to find the 24th term. So imagine we have term 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have to find 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 24. That's just insane. So that is why we have these formulas to help us, okay? So this formula, remember, all we have to find is d and a sub 1, and then we can find a sub 24 very easily. So what I like to do when I do these questions, first I always rewrite the formula, always, okay? And then what I like to do is over here, I'll write down the 2 pieces that I need to find. So remember, I need to find these 2 pieces. I need to find a sub 1, and I need to find d. Well, a sub 1 is very simple. Remember, a sub 1 is just your first term. So a sub 1 is -5. D is the one that is a little bit harder. So I know a lot of you are having a hard time finding the pattern. Now, I know negative numbers are hard, especially from going from a negative to another negative. Well, what about these 2? Can you tell me, how do I get from 3 to 7? Well, it's getting bigger, right? So we're adding, and 3 plus what is 7? 3 plus 4. And then you would use a calculator and realize, well, -5 plus 4 is also -1, and then -1 plus 4 is 3. So our common difference is +4. So D is +4. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start replacing the D with 4 and the a sub 1 with -5. Everything else stays the same. So what I'm going to do right now is just write this. That is always going to be there. I'm going to replace this D with 4. And I'm going to replace this A1. Sorry, there's a plus here. We're going to replace this A1 with -5. And this is going to happen having a plus and a negative right next to each other. If you remember, when you have a plus and a negative, the negative overrides. So I like to just scratch out that plus and realize this is really saying -5. Okay, so we are not done because I want you to put the equation in its most simplified form. So all that means is that we need to distribute this 4 out. So 4 times n is 4n, and 4 times -1 is -4. And then we still have this -5. So what we're going to do next is we're going to combine like terms. So this is going to become 4n minus 9. -4 plus a -5 is a -9. So that means our equation is a sub n is equal to 4n minus 9. That is our first answer. It says write a rule for each sequence. There's my rule. Now I want to find the indicated term. This is my indicated term. I want to find a sub 24. So to be able to find a sub 24, the quick way I can replace n with 24. So this n is going to be replaced with 24. And now what you're going to do, and you still have a minus 9, is you're going to put that in the calculator. 4 times 24 minus 9. You put that in the calculator and you get 87. So there is what a sub 24 is. So we didn't have to add 4 24 times to get to the answer. All we had to do was find this equation, and it gives us what a sub 24 is, 87. And that is the process for every example we're going to do. The process stays the same. Okay, so example 2, write a rule, find the indicated term. First thing you're going to do is rewrite the formula. And then from there, we're going to say, okay, what is a sub 1? What is d? Those are the two pieces missing in the formula. A sub 1 is always the first term, so a sub 1 is 20. D is going to be whatever that difference is. All right, so to go from 20 to 11, think to yourself, is that getting bigger or smaller? Well, the numbers are getting smaller, so we're going to be subtracting. And you have to figure out, what is it that we are subtracting? Well, you can use a calculator if you need to, but you should know that 20 minus 9 is 11, and that 11 minus 9 is 2. So therefore, our pattern, our D, our common difference is negative 9. So now what we're going to do is start replacing it in the formula. So remember, a sub n stays there, the n minus 1 stays there, and so does that plus. That D is going to be replaced with a negative 9, and the a sub 1 is going to be replaced with a 20. So now what we're going to do is simplify this formula. Multiply out that negative 9. So negative 9 times n is negative 9n, and the negative 9 times a negative 1 is a positive 9, and then we also have this positive 20 at the end. Now we can combine like terms, so combine the 20 and the 9, so this is going to become negative 9n plus 29. So there's our formula. Okay. The next thing we need to do is find the indicated term. That indicated term is right here, a sub 15. So as you can see, 15 is in the same spot as that n. So that means that we're going to replace n with 15. So we got negative 9 times n, which is 15, plus 29. Put that in the calculator exactly as it looks, and you're going to get negative 106. So a sub 15 is equal to negative 106. You're going to have two answers for each of these examples. So once again, could we have just subtracted 9 15 times to get to the answer? Yes, but this is a quick trick. It helps us get there much, much faster. All right, example 3. Once again, write your formula first. We need to find out what is a sub 1. We need to find out what is d. A sub 1 is the first term, which is negative 6. And D is going to be, let's see, well, if you think of a number line with negatives, it may help you. So if you're sitting at negative 6 and then you move to negative 9, think of a number line. Are you going to be going to the left or to the right? Negative 9 is further to the left, so you're getting smaller. So that means we're going to be subtracting a number. Okay, well, how do I get from 6 to 9? 3 in between, right? So we're subtracting 3. Negative 6 minus 3 is negative 9. Negative 9 minus 3 is negative 12. So my difference is negative 3, my common difference. So now we're going to start replacing D in a sub 1. So D is negative 6, and a sub 1 is negative 3. We have a plus and a negative right next to each other. Remember, when that happens, scratch out that plus, the negative overrides. Now we need to simplify. So we got negative 6 times n is negative 6n. Negative 6 times a negative 1 is a positive 6. And then we have a minus 3 after that. So my next piece I have to do is combine like terms. So this becomes a negative 6n plus 3. There's our equation. And the indicated term it's asking us to find is the 38th term. So we want to find a sub 38. All that means is we're going to replace n with 38. And you're just going to simply put that in the calculator, and that's going to give you negative 117. So the 38th term in that sequence is negative 117. All right, last example in your notes. Once again, write your equation down. We need to find out what is a sub 1 and what is d. A sub 1 is 8. Notice here we've got some decimals. It does not change the process. It really doesn't even make it that much harder. Decimals, I like to think of money. So if I'm at $8 and I move up to $9.50, how much did I move up? $1.50, right? 1.5. 9.5 plus 1.5 is 11. So there's our common difference, 1.5, a positive 1.5. So now we're going to start replacing. Remember, anything in black we don't replace. We're going to replace D with 1.5. And we're going to replace A sub 1 with 8. Simplify that formula by multiplying this out. So this becomes 1.5n. 1.5 times a negative 1 is negative 1.5. And we still have a plus 8. Combine like terms. So this becomes 1.5n. So $8 minus $1.50 is $6.50. So 6.5. A sub n, there's our equation. And then it's asking us to find the 48th term. Imagine if you had to do this 48 times. That would take forever. So we're going to find the 48th term by using the formula. So 1.5 times n plus 6.5. The n, or the term number they're asking us to find, is the 48th term. So now we're going to multiply just using our calculator, and you get 78.5. So this is A sub 48. So that's it for today's lesson. Tomorrow I'm asking you to do this assignment. That's all I'm asking you to do. Make sure you take a picture with your name on it and submit it. And then I will see you again on Wednesday with a new lesson. Have a good day.